This is kind of a weird geometry question. It's mostly asking you to kind of interpret a formula, but it's not one of the ones that they give you in the reference chart. So perimeter, we're not given those formulas. We just need to understand the concept of perimeter, right? It's all the outsides added up. And because this is a rectangle, we might want to draw one, right? So here's a quick rectangle. And let's put some of the information that they give us on here, right? They tell us that the has a length of x centimeters. This would be x and this would be x, right? So we can just put w for the width for now. We can find the width because we should be able to derive the perimeter formula even if we don't have it memorized. So the perimeter, right, like I said, it's all the sides added up. So to kind of cut to the chase here, it's going to be 2 x's and 2 w's, right? X plus x is 2x, w plus w is 2w. So when we have variables, we can't combine those because they're different letters. But now we can compare that to the equation that they gave us, and they are telling us, so f of x is equal to 2x plus 244. So we can see that the x parts are already kind of matched up. So if they're looking for the width, we need to be able to match up the other piece, that 2w is 244. So now we have a much simpler equation, is 244, divide both sides by 2, w is 122, and that is the answer, and that's it. So we don't actually have a perimeter of the shape because the x, the length is variable, but the width is not. So it's not that mathematically difficult, but I understand why it feels maybe like you're missing something. And what we could do here is if we wanted to, we could arithmetize, and we could come up with a value for x, right? We could just say it's 10, plug it into the equation. That would be 20 plus 244, right? So we get a perimeter of 264. And then we can kind of work with that shape and kind of solve for the width that way. But I think that's definitely adding a lot of steps. And in this case, I don't know that you would even understand that unless you understood it the way I showed you, where like what is a perimeter? How does that work? So I do think, though, that this is a great question to just write stuff down. As stupid as it is, I think drawing a rectangle on your scrap paper is worth it just to see what's going on. I think your brain is going to be much more able to make connections between this formula and the shape that it's supposed to represent if you actually see the shape. So generally speaking on the SAT, if you have an idea, write it down. That way you can see it, and then that's free space in your brain for a new idea. If you hold too many things in your brain, there's only so much you can hold at once. So get stuff on the page, it frees up space in your brain to do the next thing, and questions like this are great for that. You can stumble your way to the answer pretty easily, and that's totally okay.